Assalamualaikum everyone, this is Ira Hanif and I along with my group members Amna Umar, Maruk Jamil, Warda Irfan and Minahil Masuma, we will be presenting on inadmissible deductions. So first of all, I would like to define what is inadmissible deduction. Inadmissible deductions are the expenses that are not allowed by tax authority to deduct from expenses while calculating net income. For example, any cess rate, and a cess rate is a form of tax charged over and above the base tax liability to taxpayer, and it is to raise fund for specific purpose. And second example is if tax is paid or payable to government against profit, and that can be in Pakistan or abroad. And if GST or FED not charged to customer, then it's allowed. WPPF or WWF allowed as deduction from taxable income, not from business income. Another example is if tax is deducted on receipts by taxpayer is inadmissible, it can be a prepayment or current asset. We have another example of inadmissible deduction, that is withholding tax. If there are some expenditure from which withholding tax is not deducted and it is required to be deducted, we will be following this pattern. In case if amount of supplies is greater than 75,000, then 4% will be charged to AOP and individuals, and 4.5% will be charged to companies. And
No,
in
it is
case of
wrong.
services,
4% is to be charged to companies and 4.5%
sorry,
it is
sorry,
other way
sir.
around. Okay.
Okay. And in case of services, if amount is greater than 70,000, then 8% will be charged to companies and 10% will be charged to individuals and AOP. If salary is greater than 600,000 and rent is greater than 200,000, then it will be treated as inadmissible deductions.
If
Salary,
tax is
rent,
not deducted.
brokerage.
If tax is not deducted.
Okay, sorry. Salary, rent, brokerage, commission, profit on debt, payment to non-resident will be treated same as above. This allowance in respect of purchase of raw materials and finished goods shall not exceed 20% of purchase. If payer is withholding agent, tax need to be deducted from payments made to pay. Uh, Here's an example. How do we calculate inadmissible deductions in case of raw material? We have an example. Mr. Amir purchased raw material amounting to rupees 100,000, but no tax was deducted while making payment. What is the amount that will be considered inadmissible by taxation authorities? So, if tax is not deducted on making payments for raw material, then 20% of the amount will be considered as inadmissible deduction. So, 20% of 100,000 is 20,000. So, 20,000 will be the amount of disallowance in this case. Now, we have a question. If if Ali purchased finished goods amounting to rupees 200 million thousand, what is the amount that will be considered inadmissible by the tax authority? Anyone like to answer?
Anyone
Can you repeat the question,
नाम लिया
Tyra?
था preference
Sorry.
जी अवैस,
Can
your
you repeat
turn.
the question, Tyra?
अवैस आप बताएं, ये जो क्वेश्चन इन्होंने किया है, अगर रॉ मटेरियल 2 मिलियन का परचेज हो और टैक्स डिडक्ट ना हुआ हो तो कितने परसेंट जो होगा वो इनएडमिसिबल होगी अमाउंट?
Sir,
अवैस, कैन यू
may
हियर
I
मी?
ask?
अवैस, मेरी आवाज आ रही है आपको? अवैस इज ऑफलाइन. Okay, Ruhal Amin, can you hear me?
हेलो सर.
ये इनका क्वेश्चन आंसर करें जो इन्होंने पूछा है कि जी अगर 2 मिलियन की परचेजेस हो और 2 मिलियन की परचेजेस के ऊपर विदहोल्डिंग टैक्स ना कटा हुआ हो तो डिसअलाउंस कितनी होगी, कितने परसेंट होगी?
सर 80% अलाउ होगा, बाकी 20%
डिसअलाउड होगा. वेरी गुड, शाबाश, ठीक है.
ठीक हो क्या?
You may continue जी.
Okay.
सर.
Now Amna will continue with the presentation. Now?
Thank you, Tyra. Now I'll be discussing about the inadmissible deductions regarding the entertainment. So the admissibility of entertainment has been qualified in terms of socio-cultural propriety in section 20, according to the section 21D. Qualification of propriety is embedded in the concept of entertainment. Now, according to it, the entertainment means the provision of meals, refreshments, and the reasonable leisure facilities in accordance with the traditions of businesses and subject to overall norms of customs of businesses in Pakistan. Like expressions like reasonable leisure facilities, tradition of businesses, overall norms, and the customs of Pakistan, business in the Pakistan are all the limiting factors that can be collectively summed up and called as denoted as a social culture propriety. So according to the rule number 10, it further stipulates that the entertainment expenditure is admissible only when it is directly related to the person's business. So it means that any expense incurred for the person's own benefit would not qualify under the head of entertainment for the business purposes. Now the expenditure to be charged on what item, the expenditure to be charged on the entertainment. Now it includes that expenditure that is incurred outside Pakistan on entertainment and is in the connection with the business's transactions allocated as head office expenditures. So the second one is expenditure incurred in Pakistan on entertainment of foreign customers and the suppliers. And the third one is expenditure incurred on the entertainment of customers and clients at the person's business premises. Now, the fourth one is expenditure incurred on entertainment at a meeting of shareholders, agents, directors, or the employees. And the last one is expenditure incurred on the entertainment at the opening of branches. Now, according to some of the estimates, it's almost 50% of the economy of Pakistan is undocumented and is considered to be a major source of tax evasion. So in order to restrain the cash economy, the tax law introduced the following provisions. The first provision is any expenditure under a single account head which exceeds 50,000 must be paid by a banking channel. As the scope of banking channel is sufficiently wide, it includes any payment under any single head of expenditure exceeding rupees 50,000 by cross bank drafts or the checks or the pay orders or any transfer cross banking instrument showing transfer of amount between the parties which are concerned. And the second is the online transfer of payment and payment by a credit card. So now the provisions which have been created give some exceptions, or you can say a relief in two ways. According to the first provision, expenditure under a single account head which does not exceed rupees 10,000 can be paid in cash. It further stipulates that any payment on expenditure like utility bills, it can be free charges, fines, or payment of taxes, duties, it can also be paid in cash. Now here, my question towards all of you is that what is the reason for having such exception? Anyone?
Because these expenses are easily traceable, I guess.
Yes, exactly. You're right. Now the second provision, according to the second provision, it ordains that any sum of salary payment below 15,000 can be paid in cash. And in respect of salary payments exceeding this threshold, the employer is obliged to make the payment either through a cross check or it can be transferred through any employee's bank account. So now Maruf will take the presentation further.
Moving on to the next inadmissible deduction, in which we talk about contribution to unrecognized, unapproved funds. There are two scenarios here. First, where the Provident Fund, Gratuity Fund, or Pension Fund is recognized or allowed, which means that they are exempted from the tax. However, if the fund is not recognized or is unapproved, the tax is deducted from any payment made to the recipient. Unless any arrangements are made to secure that tax, it will be deducted, and it will be deducted according to the tax laws that are applied under the heads of salary. Let's discuss an example. Yes? Let's discuss an example. A company created a fund and made payments of 10 million to fund on behalf of all the employees during the year. The fund also made payment of 3 million to the outgoing employees during the same year. What will be the allowable deduction? In this case, funds are approved, so no tax will be charged. Otherwise, they would have been deducted from the payments which were given to the recipient to the fund. Now, Varda will explain further. Varda?
Assalamualaikum. I'll be discussing the two categories that come under unapproved fund. One is effective arrangement of tax deduction, and the other is no assurance for proper arrangement of tax deduction. In effective arrangement of tax deduction, it says that all amount contributed to the fund is admissible. For example, a total contribution of rupees 10 million would be admissible altogether, whereas on the other hand, under no assurance for proper arrangement of tax deduction, the amount actually paid to outgoing employees, only the amount actually paid to outgoing employees will be admissible. For example, only rupees 3 million paid from fund to employees would be admissible from the total contribution of rupees 10 million. Maruf, can you please change the slide? If organization has not prepared any fund and is creating liability like gratuity scheme, approved or unapproved, in both cases provision is inadmissible, while the actual payment allowable to employees who left would be allowable expense.
Yes, sir. Any fine or penalty paid or payable by the person for the violation of law, rule or regulation. However, certain payments are considered as penalty or fine being inadmissible because they are in the ordinary course of business. For example, penalty for late payment or loan will not be charged. Same as goes for surcharge for late payments, penalties for non-compliance, and demurrage for custom authorities.
So the first question is from Tahira. Tahira, what is the withholding tax threshold for supplies?
सर अगर
सप्लाईज की अमाउंट कितनी अमाउंट से ज्यादा हो तो टैक्स डिडक्ट होगा?
अगर सप्लाईज की अमाउंट 75,000 से ग्रेटर होगी तो 4% will be charged for companies and 4.5% for AOP and
Fine, ठीक है, good. Okay, next question is from Amina. Yes, Amina, ये आपके क्वेश्चंस हैं. सर्विसेज का क्या थ्रेशोल्ड है?
सर सर्विसेज
की अमाउंट कितनी अमाउंट से ऊपर जाएगी तो उनका टैक्स डिडक्ट होगा?
सर मैं बता दूं?
जी, आपकी टीम में से कोई और बता दें. जी मारो.
सर सर्विसेज अगर 30,000 से above होंगी या फिर 8% for the companies और 10% for the individuals.
Fine, good, शाबाश, ठीक है. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. जी, इस क्वेश्चन को हमने पिछला क्वेश्चन नहीं आंसर कर सकी थी. इफ यू कैन आंसर.
Yes, what threshold for salary? Sir,
जी, सैलरी के लिए क्या थ्रेशोल्ड है? सैलरी कितनी अमाउंट से ऊपर हो तो सैलरी का टैक्स डिडक्ट होगा, और रेंट का कितनी अमाउंट से ऊपर हो तो रेंट डिडक्ट होगा?
सर 200,000 अगर से अबव होगा तो मतलब रेंट का मैं बता दूं आपको.
ठीक है, और सैलरी का?
600,000.
फाइन जी, ठीक है, गुड. जी, दिस क्वेश्चन इज फ्रॉम वर्धा. आपकी अपनी प्रेजेंटेशन से रिलेटेड है. अगर रॉ मटेरियल और फिनिश गुड्स के ऊपर विथहोल्डिंग टैक्स ना डिडक्ट हुआ हो तो डिसअलाउंस की परसेंटेज क्या होगी? कितनी अमाउंट डिसअलाउ होगी? हेलो वर्धा, कैन यू हियर? मनाइल, आप आंसर कर सकती हैं?
Yes, 20%.
Who's there? किसने आंसर किया?
सर मैंने
वर्धा
वर्धा
में।
ओके फाइन जी।